lately I'm seeing a lot of people getting in trouble for not properly storing their firearms. These are people who are getting arrested and charged with a crime and almost certainly losing their licenses to carry firearms for not properly storing them. In Massachusetts, the law requires that if you don't have the gun in your immediate possession, such as on you, in your hands, or very nearby where you have complete control over it, then you must properly store it. Now, in Massachusetts, you have to do it one of two ways. You don't have to do both, you just have to do one or the other. The first is to have some type of a tamper-resistant device on it. That could be a trigger lock, that could be a cable lock, something that has a key or a combination that prevents anyone who's not you or someone authorized to use it from gaining access to it and firing it, okay? The second way is to have it in some type of a lock container. That could be a safe, that could be the trunk of your car, it could be the glove box in your car, it could be a small lock box meant to house firearms, things like that. As long as you do one of those two things, you're going to be safe under the law. Now, I wanted to go a little bit further with this and actually show you a couple different ways that I know are acceptable. And if you follow this advice, you're going to be just fine, okay? One of the first ways is what they call a trigger lock. I talked about that a little bit. Has a key that goes into it here, opens up into two pieces, okay? What you do with that trigger lock, real simple, like I said, it's a trigger lock, so it goes around the trigger guard, and this will work on a rifle or a handgun or a revolver. It doesn't really matter because it goes around the trigger guard, and it keeps a person from being able to access the trigger to the weapon, okay? This, as you can see, has a key to it. You put the key in it, you take the key out, and the gun is perfectly safe. No one can actually fire that weapon, okay? To take it off, also real simple. You can take it off in about 3 seconds, okay? It's a two-piece thing, goes right on the trigger guard. That's one type of tamper-resistant device. That's the first way to secure it, okay? Another type of tamper-resistant device is what they call a cable lock. This could go down through the action, into the grip and connect here. It's just like a bike lock, really. It also has a key or a combination to it. I've seen some people also put it through the barrel of the gun, through the slide, through the barrel of the gun. Basically, just keeps it from firing and locks, like I said, just like a bike lock with a key on it, just like that. These are two types of tamper-resistant devices that are acceptable here in Massachusetts. In fact, the state police puts out a list, and I'll put a link in the video, of all different types of tamper-resistant devices that are supposed to be sold with the guns these days by dealers when they're selling your gun. They're supposed to sell you a trigger lock or a cable lock or other tamper-resistant device with it. The other type we talked about, the second way to properly secure it, is some type of a lock container. Now, I got a few options here. Got them all on Amazon. One is just a simple old safe. It's a small safe. Doesn't matter of size. This is a small one. But this one has a combination lock. It also has a backup key if it gets lost. About $60 on Amazon. This would be perfectly acceptable. This can be bolted down, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to be in a lock container of some kind. Another one to consider looking at here, is this thing. This is just, it lays flat like this. Has both a combination lock, but also has a key and also has a fingerprint lock. It's actually pretty cool when you think about it. I might actually keep this one. Also got this on Amazon. You put your weapon in here. You can access it one of three ways. You can use a fingerprint, the combination, or the key. But again, also acceptable. Doesn't have to be bolted down, but again, it's probably good practice to do so. Something even more simple, something you could carry around with you, something you could leave in your car if you're going to store your weapon in your car. Very simple combination box. To put the gun in. This one actually has a cable, so you can lock it up to something else to make sure someone doesn't walk off with your weapons, okay? You're not going to get in trouble as long as the gun's in here if someone were to actually get into your car, get someplace and actually take it from you. That's not the problem. I actually had a client with that exact issue. Or your plain old fireproof, Sentry safe carrying case. This is almost like a briefcase. Fireproof that has a lock on it. It's so someone can't get at your weapon once in here. I mentioned a minute ago I had a client. He had his gun stolen out of his car. Perfectly law-abiding guy, had a license to carry. Luckily, he had a cable lock, one of these guys, on his weapon. The weapon got stolen out of his car. He goes to report to the police. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He walks out of the police station with charges on him. We were able to show that the gun did have a cable lock when it was stolen, and therefore they actually had to dismiss the charges. So in Massachusetts, like I said, it's not that hard to store properly. The issue some people have had is they say, well, it's in my house, I lock my house. That's not going to be good enough. The courts have specifically said That's not good enough. It's also not good enough to lock it within a room in your house if the lock is a cheese ball lock, such as an interior lock that you might use, a privacy lock in a bathroom in a house. The courts have actually said if the lock can be opened with a butter knife, or about one of these as a prop too, then it's not going to be an acceptable lock. So think, if I can open it with a butter knife, it's not going to be a good enough lock to properly secure my firearms. I might end up with a charge. I might end up losing my license to carry. Very important stuff, okay? If you have any questions about how to properly store your firearms in Massachusetts, you don't get in trouble with the law, with the courts, and you don't lose your license to carry, please feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email, or leave some comments below the video. I'll be happy to speak with you about it.